Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to the 86 That Podcast, episode 35. Uh, don't have that much to talk about besides sports and weather, but come to Little Montreal tonight. Hotdog Knuckles is hosting again. We also have him doing sports and weather, not just the weather, he's going to do sports, so that's going to be exciting. Come on down to amateur hours at Little Montreal tonight, get a $2 hot dog, have a beer, have a laugh, and buy yourself a hot dog. They're delicious. Um, yeah, like I said, I don't have much to talk about as usual. Um, if you've ever thought about trying stand up, come sign up tonight. Uh, doors open at 8, sign up by 9. Show starts around 9:15. Uh, yeah, come see me and my friends. My friends are funnier than me. Uh, yeah, I want a hot dog. Um, I think we're gonna go into sports with Knuckles, Hotdog Knuckles, and I'm gonna have a break and make a hot dog. Um, yeah, Hotdog Knuckles. Let's do some sports. Hey! Hotdog Knuckles here to bring you the sports. Last Friday, I'm guessing after the podcast, probably or during. It's weird. Baseball has games at the same times, and you'll go to the bar and they're playing on individual TVs, like 3, 4 different games. It's confusing. But on Friday, June 17th, the Mets scored one against the Pirates, who won with 9. Uh, on another game on the 27th, the Athletics got 0, and the Yankees scored 3 and won. The Rays scored 8. In another game, the Rays scored 8. And the Oilies scored 22 and 1. Twins, and another game, Twins versus Tigers. Twins scored 4 and 1, and the Tigers scored 1 and lost. Holy crap! There's 3 more. There's more games on the last Friday. The Cardinals versus Guardians. The Cardinals won with 5. Cardinals got nothing. Next game, Blue Jays got 9 against the Red Sox, who got 0 and lost. Next game, uh, Pedros against the Reds. Pedros scored 1 and the Reds won with 8. Phillies, another game, Phillies versus Braves. Phillies won with 13 and the Braves got nothing. Uh, Another game, Friday, June 27th. Like I said, they have so many games at the same time. It's crazy. Um, Giants versus Red Sox. Giants got 3, and the White Sox got 1. So the Giants won. Um, Mar- Next game, Mariners versus Rangers. Mariners scored 7, and the Rangers scored 6 and lost. So the Mariners won. Dodgers, another next game, Dodgers versus Royals. The Dodgers got 5, the Royals got 4 and lost. Next game, Rockies scored 6, and the Brewers scored 10 and 1. Next game, um, the Cubs versus Astros. The Cubs scored 4. The Astros scored 7 and 1. Next game, Nationals versus Angels. Nationals scored 15, and the Angels scored 9. So the Nationals won. Next game, Marlins versus Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks scored 8, and the Marlins scored 9 and won. Okay, now we're on to the Saturday the 28th. Athletics versus Yankees. Yankees scored 0, and Athletics scored 7 and 1. Next game, Twins scored 5. Tigers scored 10 and 1. Next game, Rays versus Orioles. Rays scored 11 and 1, and the Orioles, that's hard to sound out, 3 and lost. The Mariners versus Rangers. The Mariners scored 2, and the Rangers scored 3 and 1. We're still on Saturday. This is just like 10 games in one day. Mets versus Pirates. The Pirates scored 9 and 1, and the Mets got 2 and lost. Rockies 0. Brewers 1 with 5. Next game, the Padres scored 6 and 1, and the Reds scored 4 and lost. The Cardinals scored 9, and the Guardians scored 0. Cardinals won. Okay, Blue Jays scored 1 against the Red Sox, who scored 15 and 1. The Marlins versus Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks scored 7, and Marlins scored 8 and 1. Dodgers versus Royals. The Dodgers scored 5. The Royals scored 9 and 1. Next game, Giants versus White Sox. Giants scored 0, and the White Sox scored 1 and 1. Next game, Cubs versus Astros. Astros scored 3, and the Cubs got 12 and 1. Next game, Phillies scored 1, and the Braves scored 6 and 1. Nationals versus Angels. The Nationals scored 2. The Angels scored 8. Okay, Sunday, June 29th. The Cardinals scored 7 against the Guardians, who scored 0 and lost. Cardinals won. Next game, Red Sox versus the Jays. The Sox scored 3, and the Jays scored 5 and 1. Next game, the Rays versus the Orioles. It's hard to sound that out. The Rays got 1 and lost, and then the Orioles, I can't sound that out, scored 5 and 1. Next game, Phillies versus the Braves. The Braves scored 1. The Phillies got 2 and 1. All right, next game, Mets versus Pirates. Mets scored 1, and the Pirates scored 12 and 1. Next game, Athletics versus the Yankees. Athletics scored 5, and the Yankees won with 12. Excuse me. That's going to be a topic. Excuse me. Podcast topic. Okay, the Padres scored 2, and the Reds scored 3 and 1. Next game, the Rockies versus Brewers. Brewers scored 3, and the Rockies scored 4 and 1. Next game, Dodgers versus Royals. The Royals scored 1 and Dodgers scored 1 and lost. Next game, the Cubs scored 0, Astros scored 2 and 1. Next game, Giants scored 2 and the White Sox scored 5 and 1. The Mariners versus Rangers. The Rangers scored 4 and the Mariners scored 6 and 1. Well, and this is still like Sunday. Like there's a lot of happening at the same time. This costume's hot. I'm gonna take off the hood. Okay, yeah, we didn't start this one yet. Okay, that's why it looks new. Okay, Nationals versus Angels. The Angels scored 4. The Nationals scored 7 and 1. Next game, the Marlins versus Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks 4. Marlins won with 6. Next game, Twins versus Tigers. Twins lost with 0, and the Tigers won with 3. Monday, June 30th, the Padres versus Phillies. Padres got 0, and Phillies scored 4 and 1. Cardinals versus Pirates. Cardinals scored 0, and the Pirates got 7 and 1. Yankees versus Blue Jays. Yankees 4, Blue Jays won with 5. Reds versus Red Sox. Reds scored 6, and Red Sox got 13 and 1. We're still Monday, June 30th. Athletes versus Rays. The Rays got 4, and Athletes scored 6 and 1. Orioles versus Rangers. Rangers scored 6, and the Orioles scored 10 and 1. Royals versus Mariners. The Royals scored 2, and one of the names that I can't sound out scored 6 and 1. Next game, Giants versus Diamondbacks. Giants got 2, Diamondbacks 4 and 1. Can't forget that. Tuesday, July 1st, Canada Day. Yankees versus Blue Jays. Yankees got 5, and Blue Jays won with 12. Next game, the Twins versus Marlins. Twins scored 0 and lost, and the Marlins won with 2. Next game, Cardinals versus Pirates. Cardinals lost with 0, and the Pirates won with 1. Next game, Athletes versus the Rays. The Rays got 3, and the Athletics won with 4. There's more games Canada Day. Wow. Reds versus Red Sox. The Reds scored 3, and Red Sox scored 5 and 1. Next game, Angels versus the Braves. The Braves lost with 0, and the Angels won with 4. Guardians versus Cubs. Guardians scored 2, and the Cubs won with 5. Next game, the one of the ones I can't pronounce scored 2 versus the Rangers, winning with 10. Astros versus Rockies. Rockies scored 5, and Astros scored 6 and 1. Royals versus one of the ones that I can't pronounce. The one that I can't pronounce scored 3, and the Royals won with 6. Giants versus Diamondbacks. Giants scored 2. Diamondbacks got 8. Next game, White Sox scored 1 against the Dodgers, who won with 6. Okay, cool. It says yesterday, so we must be getting to the end. Ooh. It's pretty hot in this costume. Okay, so Athletics versus the Rays. Athletics got 5, and the Rays won with 6. Um, Cardinals versus the Pirates. Cardinals lost with 0, and the Pirates won with 5. Next game, the Padres versus the Phillies. Phillies scored 4, and the Padres scored 6 and 1. Next game, Tigers versus Nationals. Nationals got 2, and Tigers got 11 and won the game. Wait, did I say Tigers got 2? The Tigers won. Nationals got 2. Tigers won with 11. Sorry. Okay, the Brewers versus the Mets. The Mets scored 2, and the Brewers got 7 and 1. Next game, the Padres versus the Phillies. The Phillies won with 5, and Padres only got 1. Next game, Twins versus the Marlins. Marlins 1, Twins 2, the winners. Tigers versus Nationals again. Tigers 4, Nationals win with 9. Yankees versus Blue Jays. Yankees 9, Blue Jays 11 winners. Reds versus Red Sox. Red Sox 4, Reds 8 winning. Brewers 3, Mets 7 winning. Angels versus Braves. Angels got 3, Braves got 8 and 1. One of the team names that I can't pronounce got 0 against the Rangers, who scored 6. Guardians scored 4 against the Cubs, who got 5 and 1. Astros scored 5 and 1 against the Rockies, who only got 3. Giants versus the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks scored 5, and the Giants won with 6. Did I not just read that one? Yeah, Giants and Diamondbacks. Royals versus the Mariners. Royals 2, Mariners winning with 3. Excuse me. White Sox versus Dodgers. White Sox scored 4, and the Dodgers got 5 and 1. All right, and I believe this was last night. The Twins versus the Marlins. The Twins scored 1, and Marlins won with 4. Another game, Astros versus the Rockies. Astros got 6, and Rockies won with 7. Okay. Giants versus Diamondbacks. They got Diamondbacks 2 games in a row. I guess a lot of them probably do have 2 games in a row since there's so many games. So, Giants and Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks lost with 5. The Giants won with 6. Royals scored 2 against the Mariners. and they got Mariners got 3-1. White Sox versus Dodgers. White Sox got 4, and the Dodgers won with 5. What does that say? Yesterday. I thought that was today. Just give me a sec to go through and make sure. Okay. But that's not even started yet. Okay, so I'll just keep going from where we are. Did we do the Twins versus Marlins? Twins 1, Marlins 4, Astros 6, Rockies 1 with 7. Okay, yeah, we were just reading the Diamondbacks one, right? The Giants, Diamondbacks, Giants 6, Diamondbacks lost with 5. Royals 2, Mariners 3, White Sox 4, Dodgers 5. Uh, Twins versus Marlins. The Twins lost with 1, and the Marlins got 4. Astros versus Rockies. Astros 6, Rockies 7. Next game, Tigers 7, and the Nationals won with 11. Yankees versus the Blue Jays. Yankees 5, and the Blue Jays won with 8. Brewers versus Mets. Brewers scored 2. The Mets scored 3. Angels versus Braves. The Braves lost with 1, and Angels scored 5 and 1. Guardians versus Cubs. Guardians got 0 and lost, and the Cubs won with 1. Giants versus Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks got 2, and Giants got 7. All right, and now Royals versus Mariners. Royals won with 3, and the Mariners lost with 2. White Sox versus Dodgers. White Sox lost with 2, and the Dodgers got 6 and 1. Is that the last one? Are we at the end of sports? Wow, that's cool. All right, I'm gonna take this costume off. It's really hot. I'm gonna take it off and take a break, and then get into weather when HK says we're ready for weather. Thanks for enjoying sports, and yeah, we'll get back to HK. He may or may not have some announcements, and then I'll do the weather. All right, here you go, HK. Thank you for the sports, buddy. Great job. Like I said, we don't really have anything to talk about, so yeah. Thank you, Hotdog Knuckles, for the baseball scores. Uh, yeah, I'm excited to host tonight. Hotdog Knuckles is back. I appreciate y'all watching the hot dog interviews. Some people texted me saying they were pretty funny, so that's nice. Yeah, so I think we're gonna go into Hotdog Knuckles doing the weather now, and then I guess I'll sign off after that. Geez, we got another short one. Well, I guess it's not short with the baseball scores. There were a lot. There was a lot of scores that Hotdog Knuckles recapped. That was crazy. Not following anything, obviously, so that was that. Wow, they have a lot of games happening at the same time. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, I like basketball. I never got into baseball. But, we'll probably start reporting the basketball scores next week. Uh, you ready, Hotdog Knuckles? Let's go. Hotdog Knuckles doing the weather. Thank you, HK. Hotdog Knuckles back here to bring you the weather. Today, there's 24% rain, sun and cloud, plus 26. Saturday, 24% rain again. Sun and cloud, plus 31. Sunday, 86% rain. Lightning, rain, cloud, plus 22. Monday, 13% rain, sun and cloud, plus 25. Tuesday, 10% rain, sun and cloud, plus 25. Wednesday, 24% rain, sun and cloud, maybe some rain, plus 25. Thursday, it wasn't showing me Friday again for some reason, but that's okay. Thursday, 33% rain, plus 26. Plus 26. Trying to do some weird like spy stare. I don't know. Anyways, so today the AQI is good in brackets 28. UV index low. Wind 8 kilometers per hour. Pressure 1019.3 MB. Visibility unlimited. Sunrise was 5:37 a.m. and sunset will be at 9:19 p.m. Moonset was 1:13 a.m. and moonrise will be 3:51 p.m. and we're back in the waxing gibbous. I'm not sure what that means, but it said that a few weeks ago, I think, or a month. That's cool though. I should research what these moon things are because it's interesting. It'd be interesting to know, right? And the pollen is high. And running very good. I guess it's very good for running. Run on down to comedy tonight, Little Montreal amateur hours. I'm hosting. Come see me and my friends. It's going to be exciting. Come down, have a beer, have a laugh, and get yourself a delicious $2 hot dog. They're delicious at only $2. I think that's all we have for the weather. So we'll sign off. We'll finish. We're done with the weather. We'll go back to HK and sign off. Thank you for watching the 86 That Podcast, episode 35. Back to HK. I'll see you next week with the weather and sports. Thank you, Hotdog Knuckles, for the local weather. Like I said, Hotdog Knuckles is hosting at Little Montreal again tonight. So come on down. Doors open at 8, show at 9-ish. Make sure you sign up by 9 if you're going to sign up. Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be a good show. Come see me and my friends at Little Montreal tonight. Yeah, thanks for watching the podcast. I'll see you next week with another one on the Highway 420 FM.